Well, the rains have subsided, and soybean harvest has began at our farm. And I'm messing around with a new camera here in this clip, trying to figure out how to work it. As most of my viewers know, we had an international combine, and later we purchased a 9870 John Deere combine. We're having trouble selling the international, as well as the need for a 12-row corn head. We did not like the Case IH corn head whatsoever, especially in comparison to a John Deere. So we actually traded in both combines, and we found a buyer for a head. The buyer for the head was pretty easy. To consider buying another Case IH corn head just didn't seem like a logical choice. The Case IH combine that we had was quite high hours. Otherwise, we probably would have kept that combine had there been a better header for it and had it had less hours. But it had quite a few separator hours on it. And that's also part of the reason the buying market for it wasn't too high. 9870, it was a great machine, but we ended up actually trading it in for more than we paid for it. So to be able to get into this machine, which is a late model S680, which has all the same features as an S700 minus a couple little things in the cab, it's a great thing. Something we never thought possible, and it was kind of an outside the box thought that brought us to this decision. So we're at less money than we were with the Case IH. We are fully upgraded. I'll have to show the corn head in a separate video. It's a really clean head. It was very difficult to find a clean head. It's a 612C. It's a 2013. That header will be coming in future videos, as well as this entire combine operation. Alrighty, you're seeing pictures here now. There's the S680 when it arrived. It had 650/85 R38 duals on it. Part of the agreement was to put those duals on the 9870, and then we had these set of 870 R38 duals, which I rented a commercial sandblaster and stripped the powder coat out of. Then I repainted it with John Deere yellow, as you're seeing here, and they came out looking quite nice. It was a lot of work, but sandblasting without a blast suit really sucked. A sweatshirt and a face shield was about all I had. And there we are, putting the axle extensions on the S680. There's 3020 lifting up the final drive, and finally, voila, there it is. Soybean yields have been all over the place. Some of them have been in the mid-50s. Had another field that averaged 74 bushels an acre. Quite sporadic, depending on what date they were planted, as what variety they were. Just a crazy year. We went from floods to droughts to more floods, and right now we're a little bit dry, but there's more rain in the forecast, unfortunately. It's been a very busy year, and you're going to see why, because there's a lot of content in this video to cover. Starting right with this next clip. Yes, that is a quad track John Deere 9520RX. More on that will be coming in the future. And here's some new wagons, a 757, which I found used. It was owned by an elder gentleman who quit farming, retired, and he kept that wagon absolutely immaculate. He only used it like a year, and then he parked it. And then the 557 we bought brand new. I sold some of those older Parkers and had more than enough money for it. There they are, unloading onto it. The grain cart, which I've already shown. That grain cart is the same as what we had before, but we wanted a scale package, which is called U-Harvest Pro, and it was cheaper to buy and trade carts versus adding it to our other grain cart. And because everybody's going to ask, no, we did not get rid of the Fendt. That tractor will have a specific use, but yes, we did get rid of the 8360R. What you're seeing here was the quad track attempting to hook up to the fast sprayer, which it will not, and I'm going to do a different segment on that. The factory will be taking that sprayer back and making proper modifications. Another tractor showed up on the farm. Well, this one isn't mine though. This is 1961 4010, not a 4020, it's a 4010. It does have a 4020 engine though. 4010s were 380 cubic inch and the 4020s were 404. This one's had the 404 kit put into it, in-frame overhaul. Dynoed out at 97 horsepower. The reasons this here, we're putting a clutch in it for him. This belongs to a neighbor and a friend, and I opted to do the service for him. It's regular rate charge, not John Deere rates, but we are doing this as a custom job. And put the new clutch in it for him. He was running a disc mower with it and the clutch was slipping, so it was time for a new clutch. And we're finding some other things here that need to be fixed as well as we go with the project. And I had footage of us tearing this down, and it was on my old phone, which got destroyed, so that footage was lost, unfortunately. But it didn't take too long. Good afternoon, we had everything tore down, and now getting it cleaned up. So I'll have some more here on this. Again, I lost my footage. However, I'll have more on this tractor in the future. The gentleman that owns it did order parts for it, and right there you're seeing the new rear main seal that's been put in it already. Such a nice view. Looking down through the neighbors there. There's our fence. We got the ridge out here. Over the hill, it kind of starts to fade off pretty quick. It's pretty rough, but it's a nice view. Doesn't even look like our local area. It looks like rolling hills of Wyoming or something. Definitely cattle pasture only. They used to farm part of that ridge of theirs, but I don't think it was too good of dirt. Nice view. There's, I think, 700 acres of pasture back in this area. For those of you who watched my S680 versus 8240 video, there is pros and cons to each machine. There's pros and cons to every single brand on the market. I've run both machines, owned both machines, and there's no clear winner. I do, however, like this John Deere a little bit better than the International that we had. It actually has a little more horsepower, even though it's not in the book, but it clearly has more power. A few more cubic inches back there. Must just be a little better power curve, or hangs in there better, one of the two, but it has a noticeable horsepower increase. Unload capacity is better, and there's some other things throughout the machine I feel are better. Overall, how it handles a 40-foot header, I feel is better than the Case IH. But I will say, for comparisons, I only ran a 40-foot head on our 8120, not the 8240. That 40-foot head that we had in the past, I should have kept, but it was a good sale opportunity. We made good money on it, so I let it go with the 8120 because the buyer wanted to buy both as a combo. I'm very happy to be back into a 40-foot flex Draper head. This is a 2016 MacDon FD75 40-foot Draper, and it's a double driver, which was quite difficult to find. Double drive sickles are the only way to go for cutting tough stem soybeans or even tough stem wheat. We did put a slow speed transport wheel kit on it, and it's a really clean header, which was very difficult to find. Nobody's trading anything in, and good used markets are quite hard to find. But we got very lucky with this header and got the right price and the right location. That 9520 RX took a little bit of doing to come together, but there's something kind of special about that tractor. It was actually owned by John Deere, so it was never sold. I'll have that in an additional video coming up right away. It's very nimble and very multi-use friendly tractor, and works well on the baler as well as many other implements around the farm. So we'll be sure to get many years of good service out of it. The sprayer did not want to couple up to it, and it's supposed to, because it's supposed to be category 4 quick hitch, but it doesn't. So Fast is going to be taking care of that, and again, that will be in an additional video coming up right away. My intentions are to do some live feed from the combine this fall, but that hasn't happened yet. We are in a short envelope of time with the weather, as well as the new combine blues. Been a couple little things that have went bad in it because it is a second-hand combine, and just general learning curve. Ground conditions have been pretty poor. Today we got high winds. You can probably tell the chaff's blowing with me the direction I'm going right now. What's drying things off nicely. There is another inch of rain coming at us again this upcoming weekend. Today I think is the 14th. But more rain coming, so we're pushing on hard. So the intention's still there to do some live feeds yet this fall. We'll see how it goes. It's all going to be timing based because the videos come second and work comes